Hey, what's going on, guys? I got a little bit more rest. I want to finish this guy out before I start working on the container, so I'm going to do some recording. It's going to be a no edit kind of thing again. It's a special thank you to you guys. What I've done already inside Blender is the same thing that I learned in that I taught you guys in the last video with making a collision. I made another collision around that body part. And for the attributes, I came up here and I selected dynamic, compound, and collision. And for collision preset, I chose vehicle, went to apply, and then I exported it using these settings right here. Just found a file location, hit export. Now I'm in here. I have it placed where I want to place it. I want it to go right there. I created a transform group from the top up here. I named it comp joint, and I put it in the exact location where the other one is. This comp joint is what we're going to be changing, where in the last video we did, I just moved this carrier body. I used this as the node and the XML for the moving tool here. We're going to change that and create another component. That way, when we're picking up crates and other wild things like that, it won't flip and turn the whole body of the crane. It'll just react to that component. That's the idea, at least, to give a little bit more realism. And because if not, you'll be able to like push the box all the way into the ground and flip yourself and stuff. We don't want that. So once I pulled that in here, I went up to shape and I clicked the non-renderable one. It is on the outside of the other comp, so I have the second one there. What I want to do now is this carrier, I need to move it over to the comp. So I'm just going to select it here. I want to keep it in the same position, so just doing the middle mouse button drag method. We're going to drop it in there, and we will now see that it is its own comp. It has the rigid body dynamic. I'm going to hit save here. We're going to have to come in and create a new component in our code and fix our current one. This is going to be the first component. That's the first one we made, this big guy right here. We need to create a second component. I'm going to just duplicate this right here. Now we have a second component. I'm going to make this one a little lighter though. I'm going to do maybe like 200. It doesn't need to be that heavy. I might actually make the crane a little bit more heavier too. But once we get to like the engine and the tuning and all that and actually pick up a cargo thing and see how heavy it is, then we'll do that. Okay, next we need a joint, component joint code. Currently, the only thing I have up to copy that is in my boat. So I'm going to pull that boat code over into here, and we'll go over the component joint code, my understanding of what they is. So it starts off with a joint tag, and you'll have component. Now this says one here, but what it's asking is what two components do you want to marry together? Okay, and we want to marry component number 1, which would be this one, and we want to marry component number 2, which would be that one. Now we need to label the node where we want that to be connected, and that is going to be our comp joint. So this one is 010. So we just change this to a 10. We don't want it to rotate and rot. That's more for like those dump trucks and stuff like that have the articulating body. We do want it to be able to move a little bit, just in case we pick up a really heavy box or something like that. So I'm going to put this at like 2 or 3 to start off. Now that's done. That section's done. We're going to make sure that our components tag is closed. Each one of these have an end tag. This is considered an end tag as well, and this is an end tag as well. Usually this end tag is used when there's information between the two tags. We are a lot wider than that. I'm just going to update this right now with just some random numbers. Maybe not 15. Maybe let's just do 10. I'll actually do a full measurement here soon. Totally forgot that was still recording for a second. I went through, made an attacher joint. I put it in the wrong spot. Darn you. Just want to put it at the bottom here. I put it there, it would cause an error in everything here because it would all be off one index. So with my attacher joint, actually, did I put, oh, I already put one in there. UTD. So I already have one in here I can reference to. I can't remember if it's, this always confused me because I know it's a -90 the other way, but confuses me. Boop. We're gonna need to make a container in order to actually test that. I don't have a container yet. I don't think anybody has a container in the game yet. That sucks. Some stuff I'm gonna knock out just real quick then is these need some child collisions on them, the arm front and back. So we'll make those really quick inside my old blenders. The old blends. Now with this is gonna be a tricky one because I don't want it to get too crazy. I just want it to make, there we go. I think that'll be fine. With those just selected, make sure I don't have anything else selected. All right, we're gonna hit the collider tool and convex hole. All right, got my collision now. I'm gonna separate it from the model. I'm actually gonna set the, I'm actually gonna attach it here. That way when I import it in, it'll go right to where I want it. Okay, now I'm gonna export this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna export it. We're gonna go to the Giants exporter though, and go to attributes with it selected. And it is not a dynamic anymore, but it is a compound child. So I'm gonna click apply. And it's ready to be exported. Export it out. Import it in. Now, what it did is because I selected this collision is a child of that arm that is a child of that other arm. So because it was still a child and I selected it, it brought everything with it, which we don't necessarily need everything. So I'm just gonna cut it out of here because I want to keep it the same transforms and groups and everything. I'm gonna paste it back in and it'll go just perfect the way it is. I can delete that old one. Come right up here, look at my rigid body, make sure that the compound child clicked. Click on the shape, click on non-renderable, and we have a child collision on there. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the other one. I don't know if it's gonna go exactly, might have to move this one just a hair. Maybe I can put negative in there. No. What was that? Nope, don't do that. We're just gonna manually do it. I just want that. I'm happy with that. Control save. We need to install another moving tool that allows us to move those back and forth now. And turn that into an animation. Been a while since I've done that. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. I haven't found it yet, where that code is, but I did find the attacher joint indices, whatever the hell that says. And we're gonna need that eventually too, because we haven't installed the attacher joint yet, but we need to. So it'll just be the first one. We're just gonna need the one. But now we have to install it before this is gonna work. Now that I put that code there. All right, I did find it. Yay. Okay, this is what I want. Animation, and I'm gonna put whole new moving tool here. There is not gonna be an attacher joint on this guy. This is just gonna be the moving blocks. We need to create a name for it and put the proper node. So proper node is gonna be, I'm gonna pick the first one here. I'm gonna remove max fold limit. That basically says you have to have it it's folded or unfolded in order to be able to use this. We don't really care right now. We want this. Keep it simple. I'm going to go front loader tool arm for the up and down. And I'm going to go front loader tool, that one, the other one. Happy with that. Press extend. We need to create an animation name now. So let's just copy the animation out of this one. I don't even think I have an animations folder. I don't think we copied that. I always say folder. It's code. I don't have an animation code. All right, so I'm going to put that right under cylindered in its own little, it's not in cylindered and it's not in lights, in its own little doohickey here. And I'm going to copy animation names, the closing tag. I need to grab the opening tag too, but I'm going to grab this since it's right in front of me. And then we need to grab the opening tag for animation. I got animations. I have the animation, right? That's this right here. And then I have all the animations. So if I add more animations to this, I would put them in here. This is going to make a noise at this link right here. I'm going to change that right now to the index right here. Super lazy right now, not doing i3D mapping. But that's okay, because we're just going to call it extend. That's what we're going to call it. Just animation name extend. Doesn't matter what you name it as long as it's the same name that we're calling that animation right here. Resets on start, false. I need to get the strands. I think that first one is this guy. And then I'm pretty sure that the next one's going to be a 2. Now, this is not delayed at all, so I'm going to change that to 0. You have your start time and your end time of however long the animation is. I believe this is 1 second here. I might have to go in and tweak all that, but the start translation is we're going to put them at the very tips of everything. We're going to come over to here, paying attention to our X, Y, and Z. I'm going to move these all the way out to where it visually looks okay. I think right about there. That's going to be our, darn you. I'm going to select that and do Control Shift and C to copy all of them. And then I can come right to my start and just paste it in there. And I'm going to come back in here and move this guy all the way over. But we don't want it to go over anymore. What about there? Hard to tell with this new model system when it starts to enter the other models. Right out there. And then we will paste that information in the end trans. We're gonna do the same thing to the other one, but I'm gonna copy this information here. Because this is gonna be relatively the same. Remember correctly? That is 1.63. Let's go look in here. Where did it go to? Close, 6.1. I'm just gonna paste it in there and then hit the back. Those are off. It's not straight. The model isn't straight. They're off. Look at that, it's off. You guys not have a ruler, Giants? Okay, well, we're gonna pull it back visually then. Do it this way. But we see the whites of its eyes. We're gonna say right about there. If the model's not perfectly like symmetry, you can't copy and paste like what I tried to do right there. Close. Close is reading it. All right, now we're gonna pull it all the way up to here. And bingo wingo. Copy those stats right there. Gonna poke it into our end translation. Whew, you guys tired? That was a lot for me. That should work now, I think. We're good. Okay, let's copy over an attacher joint now. This file, I have attacher joint right there. Did I make? I did copy attacher joint. I know I have at least a starting tag right there. Attacher joints. Like this, and gonna throw one in right there. And we need to get that number attacher. Put the index path for that guy right there where that node is. Okay, now we have an attacher joint installed. We can't attach it to anything yet though, because there's nothing to attach it to. We've still got some funky wheels. And I think we're ready to test it. Let's test it. All right, I did get it loaded up, but I guess I didn't put this index path in there. That's the index path that moves this up and down. I guess I didn't do that. I thought I did. Anyways, did I hit save on that? Brain farting away, ladies and gentlemen. But I got an error because of that. It's loaded, right? But we're gonna just reload it again, going back and get into it again. So now it reloaded, but it can't find that default hydraulic sound. They must have changed that with the FS25 update. So I'm gonna go into something and see if I can find a hydraulic sound. I have one of the in-game wheel loaders up, and be honest with you, it probably has a better motor than what we currently have on there. So I'm still looking for the moving tool stuff, but while we're doing this, I'm just going to put a bigger motor on it too. I highlighted the motor configuration selection, just hit paste. Now we got some power. I like that. Now we got power. But I'm still looking for the moving tools part, and we're looking for sounds that possibly might have what the new hydraulic sound is. Hydraulic open and close. Black blank. I don't know which one they're using. So we're just gonna do open. Hydraulic open. Now when it plays those sounds, it'll play a sound. Probably do the directional code, but I have to listen to it. We'll have to listen to it first. So I'm gonna hit save on that guy. Open back up my game and reload her time here. Control group. Oh, there must be some code on this second one here. Ah, I see it here. So when I copied that over, there's a group index here. That's because my pirated container ship has multiple control groups that you can cycle through. And we're not doing that for this because we're just going to have one motion does everything. So it's talking about this control group. So we need to delete that. And then we should be able to get rid of that error. Let's see. Come on, baby. We're going to load up another one just so we can get a wheel cleaner screen. There we go. Bingo, error free. We still don't have a back wheel. See, we have 6 wheels, but we need 8. Is there anything in the game that has freaking 8 wheels? We're gonna look for some stuff that might have 8 wheels. 8 wheels, and it needs to have a motor, so it has differentials. That's the other kicker. I don't know. I have to look for a second. Okay, so I'm taking a peek at one of this guy right here. I assumed that they used 4 wheels on one side and 4 wheels on the other to build these tracks, and I was right. I was right. So there is a differential in here, which is absolutely nice. And we're just going to copy that over into our mod and replace the current one that we have. So just the configuration. I believe that has the proper amount of wheels now all lined up together. But now we need to install 2 more wheels up here under our wheels tag. So I'm just going to copy these last 2 because they're not attached to an XML file or anything like that. We do need to change out our rapport and our drive node, but if we use power of common sense here, this next one would be 6, and this next one would be 7. And same thing with here, 6 and 7. That should rig up our wheels now. Back into our store. Hopefully we get 0 errors when we do this. Let's see. There we go. Now, do you see the back wheel there? We have now added successfully another wheel. The problem is like what I said in the last video, if you see these white lines right there, that is because that's the width of the wheel. And what we need to do is move every single freaking tire over and then move it back. So that's going to be a pain in the butt. We're going to do one just to talk about. That's not something I really want to record because it just takes forever. Okay, so here's the front tire. We have the drive node spawning in right there. Now we could, the problem is that we want this to spin, okay? Because this part contains the LODs for the tires. We might be able to sneak by. Maybe. We'll see here. I'm going to click on both of these plus G. I'm just going to put in the word drive node. This doesn't really matter. That part at least. And I'm going to look and see where the tire center point is. Darn it. Still right there, huh? Thought maybe we'd get lucky and it would pull it over, but it didn't. So this is going to be a pain in the butt. All right, so the way to do this that I would assume is to do them all at one time. Go down the line and select each one of these tires on this side. So I'm skipping one every time. And we want to center them as best we can. Make sure my world select is off. I'm going to drag them over. Oh, I inked that one up. I didn't grab that last one. I'm going to drag them over and try to line up the center drive node portion. I really hope I got this because it's going to suck if I didn't. Ah, I went too far. So now I do that all over again, you peckerhead. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to reselect everything. Visualize where it's at. Visualize. So it's right there. Need to remember right there. Right next to that. This is a pain in the butt part. I'm going to select all these one more time. I I need it to be exactly, I'm going to put my finger on the screen so I know exactly where it is. I need it to be right in the center there of the wheel. Feel like that might be the center of the wheel. I hope so. I'm so lucky that that worked. Yes. Now I need to grab every single one of these wheels, not all of them, just these ones that I just moved. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna move them back where they were, but now the tires are moved. So these ones are gonna be more of a visual thing. I'm really not digging the. They did something to the wireframe. I don't like it. Where's the wireframe button? Where's the wireframe button? Ah, wireframe selection. Just gonna unselect that. Now I can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna move these back to where they look good. I think it's right there. A whole lot of visual fun. A whole lot of freaking visual fun. Here we go. That's a good angle. Move those till they're not touching anything. This is ridiculous without light. I need a light really freaking bad. We're gonna change it to a point light. Here we go. Fortunately, I have to go back through and select them all again. There we go. Now we can place them how we want. Just right where it starts to enter the other model. Perfect. Looks like it's at point. I think it worked. So if we did one side, press save on this. We're gonna go back, reload it. Now we can see the tires are really wide, but now we can see it's actually more lined up on that one side at least. Now from here, we are going to just zero this out. We need to figure out how fat the tire is. I'm gonna pull this out to like right about there, and I think the width is 281. Let's go double check here. I can't remember if it's double that. Guess we're gonna find out in a second. It might be double that. I think that one up, didn't I? Not that one. Reason why I'm just doing one side right now. Make sure that I get the settings right, and hopefully I can just copy over the settings that I make. So let's we didn't hit save on this. It's giving us an error warning about the components. That's because we have the light out. It's a little thin now. A little too thin. It was close. Let's try 4 something. Try 4. Load that up. All right. I'm happy with that wheel. That wheel makes me happy. We'll turn that off. We just gotta do that to the other side now. I'm gonna do that to the other side, not stress you out. I guess I'm gonna show you. I have the LOD selected and it's at a translate negative this right here. I'm gonna copy this and see what it does when we do it to this one. Which one was it? Lost my train of thought for a second. Okay, so it's the x-axis. I'm gonna try it here, over 1, and then I'm gonna click back on this guy. I think it's that. Back to here. But we're gonna go negative on this time. Nope. Clearly not freaking working. Maybe it's positive this. It is positive that. ETD. It's strange. LOD didn't move at all. Those two, I'm just double checking some settings here. That's pretty cool. I think. Do that to all the rest now. Yay. Okay. So that one worked. Load it up, make sure it's working. Yep, it's working. It's really wide because we haven't set the radius yet, but it is working. I'm going to do that method now 3 more times. I'm going to open back up the vehicle XML. We're going to change that width to the other ones we didn't fix earlier. So we'll go like that. Go down the line here and put in the 0.4. And yeah, hit save. Make sure all my changes in here are saved. Back into the map. Actually, as much as I'll probably hate deleting this because I'll probably do it again, I'm going to delete the light so that error goes away. Here, back out, go back in. And yeah. Error free. Wheels are all set perfectly. Looks like our compound is working just fine. Buy it. Still error free. Got to do some moving around. We don't have a character node. Don't have a handful of things. Make sure our guy goes up and down. It does there, see? Those guys move a little bit fast for my liking. I'll have to change the animation code on that. Those go really fast. We're going to get that screen off of there. That's nice. Okay. It goes up. And it goes, let's see how far down it goes just to make sure we're on the right level here. Should stop at that little arrow. It did for the most part. Make sure all the wheels turn. Still no errors. Whoa, look at that bad boy. He's tippy. He's tippy. When I stepped on the brakes there, we about went nose first. That's funny. Same thing. So the reason why it's doing this is our weight limits are off right now. Our weight is not centered at the very bottom. So I'm going to come back into the editor here, and we're going to figure out where the proper weight distribution should be for this, because it's picking up the main body collision up here at the top. But I'm just going to make a transform group right now. And I'm going to try to move it up maybe about the center of it. Come into here. I'm going to fiddle with this because right now my current center mass was 0001. It might even be a little too heavy, to be honest with you. Let's try 6,000. I don't need that transform group anymore for right now. I'm just going to reload it as is. Did it not bring in that new motor? There was a new motor that we had brought in. I swear we brought in a new motor. We did. We did bring in a new motor. Why doesn't it say that new motor yet? Didn't say fast boat at all on here. Oddly enough, I feel like it's not loading properly. Inner lift i3D. Oh, maybe it's store items reload. Yeah, that's what it was. I hadn't hit store items reload in a while, so then that didn't show up. Let's see if that's better. Oh, really tippy, huh? Okay. So, oh yeah, even worse now. Whee! Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's even worse. So, gonna bring that down. I should have known that because it was already kind of tippy, and then I just raised the crap out of the Y. So I'm gonna leave it at 0. And instead of having a lot of mass up here, I'm gonna do 2000, and I'm gonna come into the tires, and we're gonna add a mass node into here. Mass equals 2, maybe. I'm gonna go 50. 50. I don't know yet. Let's just try something. We're gonna put it in the first 2, and we're gonna put it in the last 2. See if we break it. Definitely a lot slower now, which is like what its normal speed probably should be. It's super heavy. It probably doesn't go any faster than this in real life. That's more realistic, huh? And it's not because of it's not because we made it slower or weaker, we just made it super heavy, so now it's a lot heavier. And if we look, these 2 wheels that we applied those mass to are actually the ones that are making contact with the ground more. I'm going to jump out really quick. Look at the tires. See, it's not making contact. So we know I can probably come down like we got to add it to 1, 2, 3, 4 more tires, and so let's try 20. 20. Copy that. Paste. Save. Reload. Save. Reload. Save. Reload. Welcome to modding. Be honest, we might be able to make those wheels so they turn a lot sharper too. I think we could probably do that. At least we're going faster now. I want to increase the turn radius on those wheels since we have the room to do it inside of the wheel well. So rot speed, rot max. Let's try this. Try changing this like 15 degrees. And probably should change the wheel center mass. I'm gonna leave it for right now. Yeah, there we go. A lot sharper of a turn now. That's pretty tight turn. I like that. I do need to make a cargo container mix though, so I think that's gonna be. They haven't put like a character node and stuff in there yet. You know, that's all boring stuff, but I'll do that eventually. I think that's gonna be it for this video though. Like, We got a lot done. We got quite a bit done. Animations, moving collisions, creating collisions, tinking around with some custom wheels, because these are custom wheels, mind you. Yeah, cool. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. You know how it goes. I appreciate you. You appreciate me. Let's get going, guys. See you in the next one.